Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, sir.
Okay, so actually, I am right now I am in hospital, and because of my mother's health, so I will not be able to take your class. For the time being, one of my fellow colleagues will be taking your class. So kindly adjust, and my sincere apology for that. So Bolochan sir will be taking your class today. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, good afternoon, students. So, in the today class, we are going to discuss about the environment geography. Just wait one minute. I will share my screen. So, students, so in today class, we are going to discuss about the pollution and health. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, yes, you're audible, sir.
Okay. So, first we will discuss what is pollution and how pollution will has affect human health. So everybody has knows about health. Health means mental health, physical health. So basically, we have affected from pollution to our minds, to our health. Due to pollution, we have several problems on our minds and health. So, what are the pollution which affects our health and minds? We will discuss in today's class. So basically, we have seen so many pollutions in our environment, like air pollution, water pollution, uh, noise pollution. So how these pollutions are created and how these pollutions are affected to our health. So basically, now we will start with the pollution. Mostly there are five important pollution: land pollution, water pollution, air pollution, and noise pollution. So everyone has knows somehow about the water pollution and land pollution. Basically, land pollution is a pollution which is affected by our waste disposals. Like we are throwing any polythene to the grounds or anything which affects the land, which pollute the lands. Pollution means any ingredients, any which affect the lands. Like when we throw any polythenes to the land, it directly affected the lands. So there are other so many causes of land pollutions. But uh, in today class, we will discuss some a little bit about the land pollutions. So the reasons of land pollutions are both natural as well as human action. We are doing any minings. This also a cause of land pollutions. Where when we do any mining, we just remove the upper surface of the lands and it open up for any type of pollution. So it is basically a human cause of land pollution, and mostly the human beings are doing this pollution every day. The natural reasons are like the rainfall with pollutants, volcanic eruption with certain pollutants, and however, this the major land pollutions are human activities. Human actions contribute to land pollutions are industrial activities, use of chemicals and pesticides for agricultural and forestry, plantation, disposal of plastics and toxic metals. Like whenever we are doing any agricultural activities, we are adding so many pesticides and insecticides in the land, and this directly pollutes our lands. And when we are doing any uh, industrialization, or in case of industrialization process, the materials which is existed from the industry, it directly added in the land surface, and it also directly affected to our land. Next, we will discuss about the water pollution. So, in water pollution, we have actually we know or we have so many ideas regarding the water pollution, how it affect the waters, and what are mostly the ingredients which affect the waters. And if we will learn about or knows if you want to know about the water pollution, normally water pollution means when some unwanted objects or unwanted ingredients added in the waters, we can call it a water pollution. So basically there are so many ingredients or unwanted materials as added daily added in the waters. Like when we were same case, same examples we can take, like when we are doing agricultural activities, the same materials, the same ingredients like your pesticides, insecticides, which we added in the agricultural fields, it's flows with the water, and it added to the water, and this directly uh, pollute the water bodies. And in our schools school time, we have already read about the water pollution, like when we are throwing any garbage to the water bodies, or when we wash our clothes in the water bodies, or when we throw any uh, cloths to the water bodies, it also pollutes the water bodies. So in water bodies or water pollution, the causes are also two types, like man-made causes and uh, natural causes. And in case of natural causes, we can also see the same thing, like when there is some acid rain, there's so many chemicals which comes in acid rain, it also added in the water bodies, and this also directly pollutes the water bodies. So this was the causes of water pollution. I hope you understood. The next pollution is air pollution. So in our daily life, where we can see how the air is polluted, if we will go to Delhi, so you can see how it actually pollute, or how the air is polluted in. So you cannot without any oxygen mass, you cannot inhale this air. So that kind of situation has also created due to so many uh, bad activity in our environment, like due to mining, due to heavy vehicles, and due to so many other causes also, which affect the air pollution. In same case, If we want to know the definition of air pollution, it is nothing but when some unwanted objects or uh, unwanted gases, which when some unwanted gases added in the air, it affects the fresh air and it pollutes the fresh air. And this basically is known as air pollutions. Like when the maximum amount of carbon dioxide added in the fresh air, it became polluted. Or when maximum uh, any other kind of gases which have the ability to disturb the fresh air, and this is a kind of a situation of air pollutions. So you can take an example of Delhi, and so many other areas has severely affected in air pollution. And in air pollution also have two main causes: man-made causes and natural causes. Here nature also somehow added some pollutant in the air. But nature has some maximum capability to eradicate the air pollution, and nature has doing its duty. So there are so many acts also comes to eradicate the air pollution and how it will not affect how we can control the air pollution. So that's why a odd even rule also has come in Delhi, where maximum vehicle is going on. Like in case of Delhi, the government has applied a odd even rule. The vehicle number, odd even number, they started a rule that uh, basically the vehicle which has odd number, they will run 3 days, and the vehicle has even number, they will run in other 3 days. And by this way they can mitigate the air pollution which is severely affected in that areas, in mostly in Delhi areas. So there are so many gases which is affecting the air pollution, like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. And these gases are day by day has increased in our atmosphere, and we must have do something to mitigate the air pollution. Like uh, we have to use less carbon. We have to uh, use less fossil fuels, so that in that way we can mitigate or minimize the uh, carbon dioxide emissions to our environment. So basically, these are the mitigation of air pollution. And the next pollution is noise pollution. So noise means whenever we are making any sounds, and we know the minimum level of noise which human can human can जितना एक मार look, the minimum level of noise or sounds a human can resist, and that is 60 decibel. And the upper limit of noise pollution is or sound is 120 decibel. And after that a man can be उसको सुनाई नहीं दे सकता है, और उसका मेंटल प्रॉब्लम भी आ सकता है अगर उससे ज्यादा साउंड हुआ तो ये सारे साउंड्स और ये एयर नॉइज पोल्यूशन होता कैसे है? So this pollution is mostly arises in industrial areas where severe or heavy industries are working on, and these sounds will make the air or the areas pollute. And when a heavy sounds will come in that areas, the whole areas will face a noise pollution. and this noise pollution has so many problems. It will create so many problems in the environment, and it has so many bad impacts on human health. If the severe noise or severe sound will occur in that area, then the man can be face headache, the man can be face mental imbalance, the man can be down. So these are so many problems can be arises where the noise pollution is more. You can say where the heavy industries are working on, or heavy machines are working on. So you can feel a severe kind of noise pollution in that area. So next we will see waste disposal and pollution. I hope you understood. Anyone have any doubt? Okay, so I hope you all are understood. Okay, Sandeep Bharat, you have any queries?
So the impact of noise pollution can also be on
Yes.
animals.
Okay, I think you are not you are not audible.
Sir, I said the impact of noise pollution can be on the animals
Impact
also.
of
Noise
yes,
pollution.
yes, Sandeep Bharat, carry on.
Sir, I said the impact of noise pollution can be on the
Can you write?
animals too.
Yes, yes. The same impact can be also for the animals. They have also a specific noise resistance. If the noise pollution will be more than that resistance, they will face the same problems like humans. They will face the headache type of problems, and it will be also it's a bizarre type of things for all like humans and animals. Any doubts?
No, no, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So can we carry on? Can you go forward?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So next one is waste disposal and pollution. So we have know what is disposal and how waste disposal is polluting our environment. So this is a common example of polythene or plastic in our environment. How we dispose in our surrounding environment, and how it directly affect our environment, and it also affect our health, like the plastic, which is actually is a non biodegradable materials. It can't be it can't be de- degrade with the soils in environment, but still we are using a maximum amount of plastics in our environment, which is actually a great problems in our near future. It will create a great future in our near future. So the polythenes, the which we were using heavily in our daily life, it creates a great pollution, that is the waste disposal pollutions. And the areas which is filled up with plastics, these are like the uh, unused soils or unused, it can be or it will be unused land or unused or degraded lands. It cannot be used further because the okay. Am I audible? Am I audible to everyone? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Hello? Am I
Yes,
audible?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. I think there are some network issues. Okay, so these are the problems, or these are the things which is creating a severe problems in our environment. But we should try to minimize, or we should try to minimize ourselves, or we have to be conscious to save our environment, or save our earth. So this might be a suggestion or request to all of all of you to minimize some kind of plastic use of plastics around you and your family, your friends, to minimize the plastics in our environments. Okay. So next is how to manage and mitigate the pollutions, like air pollution, water pollution, and noise pollution, how we can manage or how we can mitigate. So I already told you how to mitigate, or how to manage above pollutions. I hope you understood somehow. If you have any queries, you can ask me now. And I'm giving you 5 minutes. You can ask me any questions regarding this topic that we have discussed now. Shall we start the next topic, environment and health?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So now we will start a new thing, the health and environment. How the environment and health is related, how it is, how one thing is affected another thing. If one thing will disturb, then obviously another thing will be disturbed. And what about those uh, what about the pollution we have studied? These all are coming under our environment. If one thing has disturbed, means if air is polluted, then environment is polluted. And if environment will be polluted, then directly it will effect or impact on our health. Like if there will be some air pollution, then directly it will affect our health. It will affect our lungs. It will affect our inhale and exhale conditions. So it will directly affect it to our human function, human body, human mind. And if the environment is very good, then obviously our mind, our body, our health will be good. So basically we have knows that in agricultural field we are using so many pesticides, insecticides, other chemicals. So that's why so many doctors are saying that you are taking uh, like these are not good for health, and these are some chemicals that's why you are facing these diseases, these problems. So this is actually true. We are taking very bad things or bad chemicals with our foods, and that's why this affect our mind and body. So there are so many dimensions of our health, like physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and social health. So a sound body, a sound mind has all of a better mental health. If you don't have a proper mental health, if your mental health is not stable, you cannot be do any kind of things. You cannot talk to anybody in a perfect way. You can't read, you can't write, or anything. You cannot do it in a perfect way. And if your physical health is not good, that's that also creates so many problems. You cannot do anything. And same other thing, emotional health is also very important. Your spiritual health is also very important, and your social health. So these dimensions can collaboratively create a better person, a better, a sound mind, a good person, and a good well-being person. So basically, for a proper or a well-being person, we have to be a sound mind, a proper mental health, a proper physical health, a proper spiritual health, and emotional social. In every aspects we have to be that much of good. If one dimension has a disturb, then it will disturb the whole ecosystem. So now we will discuss the good health and well-being sustainable development goal. So in school time we already discussed what is sustainable developments and what are the goals of sustainable developments. Sustainable developments, as we have studied in earlier classes, it is a development. It's a type. It's a economic development which not affect our environment, and we use the resources in the present time, and also we are not we are not that can say हम resources ऐसे use कर रहे हैं, हम भी compromise नहीं कर रहे हैं. We are not compromised with our generation, and we are using in such a way that our future generation will not face any kind of resource shortage. But you can see in recent times, recent periods, we are using as we can use, means we are using much more resources what we actually need, but that's a very bad problem, and it will create a very bad situation in our near future. It will create resource shortage, a severe resource shortage kind of situation in our near future. And we have already studied a kind of no anka durbhikya in our literature, that I think this type of condition will also arise in our near future, and we will face a severe kind of food shortage in near future, and other problems like energy shortage. We will face this kind of situation in our near future. And if you will practice the sustainable developments, then it might be save all the human body or human beings from the upcoming uh, resource shortage. I hope you understood what is sustainable development. So in sustainable developments there are so many goals, and there are so many targets. So basically in sustainable development goal. There are 17 goals and 169 targets, and in between these goals there is a goal that is good health and well-being. How a human being, how the humans will be, humans can be have a good health, and how they can be well-being, and how they will achieve the all dimensions of the health, how they can be a good mental health, how they will attain a uh, good physical health and spiritual and social health. So now we will discuss what is or the types of health hazards. So basically there are four types of health hazards, sorry, three types of health hazards: biological health hazards, physical health hazards, and chemical health hazards. So first we will discuss what is biological health hazards. When the organic substance of the environment, such as bacteria, virus, parasites, pathogen, or fungi either come in contact with or enters in human body, they pose a negative threat to human health and are called biological health hazards. Means when some bacteria, virus, or parasite enter to our body, they will create a negative threats, or they are creating a damage in our body, and this is known as biological health hazards. There are many diseases which are caused by this biological substance, such as fungal infection, bacterial infection, viral infection, parasitic infection. For example, a bacterium called Mycobacterium tuberculosis causes an infectious disease called as tuberculosis. So we have knows about the TB, that is tuberculosis, and recently Odisha government, state government has started a program, zero TB patient in Odisha. So all max means all the medical centers are working for this to mitigate or to do the Odisha as a zero TB patient. And so this TB, this disease has comes from a bacteria that is myco Mycobacterium tuberculosis. From this bacteria, a disease is created that is tuberculosis. So in our village, we can see so many. Nowadays, it is very rare, but if you will go back to 10 years, 15 years, that time there are so many TB patients in our village. Um, they are facing severe type of disease. They are like khasi, that type of symptoms is seen in TB patients. So next is physical health hazards. The physical health hazard is like is human body has a limit to tolerate heat, temperature, radiation, or noise. Short or long term exposure to beyond limit can threat human health and can cause illness. So it is depends upon the body of a person's, how much he can tolerate, how much he can resist. Maybe I can resist more heat, and some other persons cannot resist maximum heat, and they will affect, they will face so many problems on heat, mostly in temperature. So this heat, this temperature, this radiation and noise also creates a great threat to the human health and body, and these hazards is known as physical health hazards. So like temperature, if you'll open up to high temperature, then you can also face so many changes, or so many problems in your body. So next is chemical health hazards. There are various harmful chemical presents in our environment which can be life threatening if ingested, inhaled, or absorbed by living organism. Health effects of chemical substance can seen in the form of irritation, inflammation, or chronic illness affecting various organs such as heart, lung, brain, and other. So chemical health hazards can be seen in also human body, like whenever we are taking any foods, or like in today's world, all those foods which we take is full of chemicals. I have already told you the foods, the things which we added in our agricultural field, the insecticides, pesticide, these are full of chemicals, and these are not very good chemicals. They are very uh, dangerous chemicals, and these chemicals is added in our food, and this food is coming to our body. So directly or indirectly, it entered to our body, and this affect or this create a chemical health hazards in our body. So I hope you understood. Next is exposure and health risks. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So can we take a 5 minutes break?
Sure, sir.
Okay, okay.
You are not audible, sir.
Sir is
Sir,
on break for 2 minutes.
yes, sir, I have take a 2 minutes break. Okay, students. So now we'll start exposure and health risks. How the human exposed to any type of health risks, like whenever we are exposed to the high temperature areas or any air pollution area, polluted areas, water polluted areas, or when we drink the polluted water or infected foods, that time also we are getting so many risks to our health. Like if you drink polluted waters, then the chemicals which is entered to our body, it will create so many health hazards in our body. So they are mostly uh, means how does exposure occurs. So mostly in three cases the exposure has occurred, means in inhalation, ingestion and contacts. So in these three ways mostly the exposure human is exposed to the polluted substance. Like when we inhale, when we breathe the polluted air or the substance which is mixed with the air has entered to our body, and this will it will create so many problems inside our body. And next is ingestion, means whenever we are taking any kind of foods, and which is the food which is full of chemicals or infected foods, this food also creates so many problems inside our body. Like whenever we eat any uh, food which is not good, or kind of uh, chemical foods, then directly it will create so many problems inside our body. And contacts, like when we directly expose to our area which is full of which is severely affected in air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, then this environment is directly affect our body and mind, and this is also a severe risk for the human body, and it will directly affect our body and mind or health. Next is risks and vulnerability across geographical regions, means risks and vulnerability. Vulnerability means how much we are vulnerable. What is the probability to be affected in that region, in that geographical regions? Means the region or the geographical areas which is affected in any kind of pollution. Means it may be the geographical areas may be affected in air pollution, water pollution, air pollution, noise pollution. If you will go to that areas, then how or what kind of risks we will get, or how much the probability to be affected or uh, get risks in that areas. So you can imagine if you will go to a severe noise polluted areas, then what kind of risks you will get, or if you will goes to a water pollution polluted areas, if you will intake in any water, then what kind of problems, health hazards will come to your body. So next is health risk and vulnerability due to arsenic pollution in India. Arsenic is found in organic or inorganic forms on the earth. Organic arsenic is found in marine life, while the inorganic arsenic is found in soil or groundwater. It enters in human body when arsenic rich water is found used for drinking, cooking, or irrigation purpose. The food grains irrigated with contaminated water take up arsenic and make it a part of food chain. Natural water normally contains 1 to 2 arsenic. Means this arsenic pollutions is pollutant can be seen in both organic and inorganic forms in our earth. So whenever we are doing agricultural, if we will add water, if we, when we are giving or irrigated in our agricultural field, if we will irrigated a arsenic or a contaminated water in our agricultural field, then this contaminated water is added in our food, and this food is directly goes inside our body, and this will make a bad impact in our food chain. So I hope you all know what is food chain and how food chain is impact, or if the food chain is polluted, if in one place if there is some pollution, then it will pollute or it will impact on the whole food chain process. So next we can see the health risks and vulnerability due to fluoride contamination in India. So map there is a map where you can see the fluoride in groundwater. The places having highly fluoride content, like in hotspots areas of fluoride content. There are so many hotspots areas, like maximum hotspots areas you can see in Delhi, Rajasthan areas, Gujarat areas, and Odisha you can see in western Odisha, and mm, West Bengal, Karnataka, Telangana, and Tamil Nadu. Andhra maximum fluoride you can see from this state, and this will directly our underground water. If the water will contaminated, if the underground water will polluted, then this can directly impact, has a our our health. So health risks and vulnerabilities agrochemical pollution in India. Basically, India, 75% people are dependent on agriculture. So after the green revolution, maximum farmers are adding pesticides and insecticides in their agricultural land, and these chemicals uh, can improve the agricultural productivity, but the quality of food is going down and down. So this food, basically this polluted foods or agrochemicals pollution is directly polluting our foods, and when we takes these foods, when we takes this food also creates so many problems in our body. So basically the foods which we are taking daily life, in our daily life, they are full of chemicals, and that's why we are facing so many diseases in our day to day life, like maximum diseases is for the food, the food which we are taking in day to day life. So the next topic is climate change and human health. So okay, just take 2 minutes, another 2 minutes break, and then we will start climate change and human health. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So now we will start the climate change and human health. How the climate change affect on human health. So we know what is climate change, but first we know what is climates. So as you all are belongs to geography background, so I hope you all know what is climate. So how this climate is actually changing and how this climate change affects on human health. So this climate change is basically is for the uh, pollutions which is arising in our environment, like air pollution is also a cause for uh, climate change. Your water pollution is also a cause for uh, climate change. All other things or it collectively changing our climates. So you already know the uh, elements of climates like temperature, pressure, humidity, volume. So this collectively can be change our climates. And when a certain areas is facing any kind of a severe temperature or a certain area is facing a heavy rainfall, then might be this area has feel or experience a kind of climate change in the near future. So basically, then how this climate change is affected or how this affect our human health. So the climate change or human health has these two things have a common relation in they have a common relation. If one thing will be changed, then automatically it will impact on other thing. The long-term good health of population depends on the continued stability and functioning of the biosphere, ecological and physical system, often referred to as a life support system. The world climate system is an integral part of this complex life supporting process. It is one of many large natural systems that are now coming under pressure and the increasing pollution and economic activity. So basically, this environment or if the environment will change, then obviously our climate will change, and if the climate will be changed, then it will impact on our human health in every aspects. Good climate change is thus a significant addition to the spectrum of environmental health hazards faced by mankind. Traditional environmental health concerns have been focused on toxicological or microbiological risks to health from local environmental exposure. However, in the early years of the 21st century, as the burgeoning human impact on the environment continues to alter the planet's geological, biological, and ecological systems, a range of large-scale environmental hazards to human health has emerged. So basically, it is on how the good climate change is a better. Sorry, the global climate change has an impact on human health hazards. If if a place is experiencing climate change or there is a global climate change, then how the human being is facing a severe kind of health hazards in that areas. Next, direct or immediate impact of climate change on human health. So now we'll see what are the direct impact of climate change on human health. So now if there will be extreme heat, then what type of health outcomes will be arise or health hazards will come in human body, like heat related diseases like illness, it will be arise in human body. Then air quality, if there will be bad air or polluted air, then that time the human will face a cardiovascular disease, respiratory illness, chronic diseases. So these are some diseases the human will face if there will be a polluted air. If there will be flooding, then what will be happen? If there will be flooding in a areas, flood means a high or a huge amount of water when come out of the water, but when a huge amount of water is come out of the river paths. So when this occur, then the human may lose his life, human may lose his assets, liabilities, all those things. Next is vector-borne infection. It is happening, and this impact on limb diseases of human beings. So these are some direct impacts of global climate change on human health. Now we will see the weather patterns. So you have know what is weather and climate. Weather is a part of climate, and climate is a very big concept, and weather is a very small concept. But the definition is near about same. Weather is the day-to-day atmospheric phenomena or condition of a place, but climate is the sum total of all weather condition of a bigger region for a longer period of time. A weather can be changed in day to day in a frequent manner. In 1 hour, it can be changed in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. But climate cannot be changed in frequently. In a short term basis, it can be changed. And when we observe a weather pattern for a longer period of time, we call it as a climates. If the same kind of weather is prevail for a longer period of time, we call it as a climate. So basically, the weather pattern, how this pattern is undertaken, how this signifies the global climate change. Now we will discuss. Climate change refers to long-term shift in average weather patterns that have come to define Earth local and global climates. It is primarily caused by human activities such as burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, and agriculture, which have led to an increase in the amount of which have deforestation and agriculture, which have led to an increase in the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. So means the climate change has so many causes, like when we are using the fossil fuel, when we are burning the fossil fuels, these fossil fuels emit so many carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide increases the environment temperature or atmosphere temperature. And when the temperature of atmosphere increases, that will create a bigger problems in our environment. So this will automatically changes the climates of that place. And there are so many other causes like deforestation. When we cut all the trees, this will also create a problems. When we cut the trees, then there will be no rainfall, and if there will be no rainfall, then that areas will experience a harsh, a severe, a hot type of climates. And this also changes the climate of that areas. The direct impact of climate change on weather pattern is far-reaching and complex. This with consequences that range from mild to severe and can be both positive and negative. One of the most obvious direct impact of climate change on weather pattern is the increase in global temperature. So if there will be climate change on a place, then it will obviously changes the weather pattern of that place. Means if a place, take an example of uh, maybe Odisha. If Odisha is experiencing a mild climate type of climates, means not so much hot, not so much cold. If and the weather pattern is normal, like 3 months rainfall, 3 months severe temperature, and 3 months is let's say 4 months. 4 months is severe rainfall, 4 months is severe temperature, and 4 months is winter. But if climate change will occur in Odisha, then the weather pattern will be changed. The 3 month, 4 months rainfall will be maybe 8 months rainfall, 4 months winter, and it may be 4 months or 5 months summer, and 2 to 3 months winter and 1 month rainfall. Anything or any type of changes can be occur if there will be climate change. I hope you understood how the climate changes affect on weather pattern. So next is air quality. Climate change has direct impacts on air quality that affect human health and environment. As global temperature continue to rise and weather patterns change, air pollution levels are increasing and air quality is becoming critical issues for people around the world. One of the most significant impact of climate change on air quality is increased formation of ground level ozone, a harmful air pollutant. Ozone is formed when nitrogen dioxide and volatile organic compounds are exposed to sunlight and heat. So basically, it is here telling about how the climate change impact on air qualities and how the air and climate changes, how this air becoming a the bad air, the polluted air becoming a severe problem for the whole environment. So when there is some climate change, the polluted airs, the chemicals present on that polluted airs create a ground level ozone in the grounds, and this ozone can create so many diseases in the atmospheres. Another impact of climate change on air quality is the increased spread of allergens such as pollen, which can be exacerbate allergies and asthma. Rising temperature and changing precipitation pattern can extend the pollen season and increase in level of allergen in the air. This can be particularly harmful for people with allergy or respiratory problems. So basically, the human person who is facing allergy, the person who is facing respiratory problems, diseases, they are also very vulnerable in climate change where the air qualities is changing. So they will face a severe kind of health disaster in that areas. If the climate will change, the air quality will be changed, and this will impact on human health, human health hazards. They will face so many respiratory diseases, cardio diseases, and other heart and respiratory chronic diseases. Next we will see water quality. Climate change has significant impact on water quality, which can have serious consequences on human health, environment, and economic economies. One of the primary ways that climate change affect water quality is through changes in precipitation patterns, including increase in frequency and intensity of drought and floods. So when the weather pattern will change, when the precipitation pattern will be changed. So there will be very high amount of rainfall, or might be there will be a very shortage of rainfall. When this kind of pattern will be changed, then definitely the area will face a water problems in that areas, and this will affect the water qualities of that areas. And if the water quality will be degraded, then directly it will affect the human health. The scarcity of water, water shortage, and water flooding means if there will be heavy amount of rainfall, then there will be flooding in that areas. So definitely the people will lose their life, they will lose their assets, their liabilities. And if there will be a less kind of rainfall, shortage rainfall, then the people will face a drought kind of situation on that areas, and definitely they will be their life will be very harmful. They will face water shortage, maybe they will die without uh, without water. So this kind of situation can be seen directly by can be seen in areas which is affected climate, which is affected by the climate change. Next is spread of diseases. So what kind of diseases is spread due to the climate change? Climate change has the potential to significantly impact the spread of disease, both in terms of geographical range or disease carrying organisms, and the timing of disease can have serious consequences for public health as well as economic and social development. Means the climate has the potential to significant impact on spread of disease. The climate change can be the climate change can be also spread the diseases, like if areas is facing any disease, a severe kind of disease, the climate change can have the potential to spread this disease to one place to another place. One of the most direct impact of climate change on disease spread is the expansion of geographical range of disease carrying vector insects such as mosquitoes and ticks. So mostly the disease are spread by the mosquitoes, by the insects. These are the uh, carrying agents of any disease, any type of diseases. Like recently, you have seen the effect of corona. So in corona case, human are the agents who have spread the corona disease throughout the world. But in kind of other diseases, mostly the mosquitoes and ticks, insects, these are the agents who have spread the disease throughout the geographical areas. So directly the climate change directly impact on the spread of diseases, this type of diseases through these agents, spreading agents. Next is food qualities. Climate change is having a direct and profound impact on food quality, affecting both the quantity and quality of food we eat. As temperature rise and weather pattern change, food production is becoming increasingly vulnerable, leading to a decline in food security and potentially harm to human health. So basically, as we have seen in our India, basically in India, you can see the food production nowadays is becoming decreasing, and this may create a severe type of food shortage in India. And this will be a very uh, can say a dangerous situation, and this will create a very severe problems in our society. One of the primary ways that climate change affect food quality is through changes in crop yield, which can lead to food scarcity and rising food prices. So basically, before before 10 15 years, 20 50 years, you can see yield, crop yield was so you can say the crop yield was very good. But nowadays, due to so many pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, the crop yield is not that much of good, and from one crop yield production is very less, and this creates a severe type of food scarcity in our agricultural production, and this will can be harm, or this will can be create a extreme type of food shortage in our near future also. So I hope you understood. So this was the end of this chapter. So we'll discuss the next block, the next chapter, that is environment policies and management. So now just take 3 to 4 minutes break, and then we will start again. Okay. Okay, students, now we'll start environment and the legislation in India. Means what are the rules and regulation is set for our environment, how to protect our environment. So, for a good environment, we must have some rules and regulation. We must follow them. Then we can make our environment into a good or a better environment. If the environment will be better, if the environment will be good, then obviously our whole human society can be live in a happy life. If there will be some problems in our environment, then definitely this will directly affect our whole ecosystem, whole human life. So for that, we must maintain a better uh, environment. We must make some rules and regulation. We must set some rules and regulation that will which will prohibit any human body or human being to harm or to pollute our environment. So government of India has mentioned or make so many policies, so many rules and regulations to eradicate the pollutions, to mitigate pollution, or to maintain a better environment or to protect our environment. Environmental protection has found a special mention in the Indian Constitution. You will see the Indian Constitution. We have know what is constitutions. So in our constitution, it also you can see a special protection for our environment. How to protect our environment. In fact, the environment protection has given a constitutional status the Indian polity, the fundamental rights and the directive principles of state policy underline our national committee to protect and improve the environment. So, in our constitution, we have also give a certain place to our environment. We write so many rules and regulation. We have set so many rules and regulation for our environment. How we can make or how we can protect our environment so that it will not disturb and this will directly helps out to all the human society to live in a happy life. The fundamental okay, the code in India have given a new interpretation to the constitutional provision touching the environmental perspective. The interpretation given to article 21 of constitution, which is contained in the chapter on the fundamental rights, has added new dimension to the quality of life and environmental related aspects. So if you will see our constitution, our fundamental rights, so here in article 21 we can see it is specially mentioned that how we can maintain a better environment, how we can maintain a quality of life, better quality of lives, and how the environment, how we cannot, how we can't, how we can protect our environment. So these things are already mentioned in Article 21 in our Constitution. The Constitution of India, as originally enacted, did not contain any specific provision to deal with environmental pollution through Article 47 made in indirect reference to improvement of public health as one of the primary duties of states. In fact, envisages a pollution-free environment for all the people. So basically, in our constitution, it is mentioned that we must save our environment. We must free the environment from all type of pollution. So this is a common duties or a and constitutional you can say fundamental duties for all the human beings to make free of any type of pollutions to the environments. Some of the constitutional imperatives to protect and preserve environmental are as given. First one is distributive powers. Constitution 42nd Amendment, Directive Principle of State Policy, and Article 250 and Environmental Legislation. So these are some of the policies and measures which is protect the environment from any type of pollutions or any type of harms. The Constitution provides, so first we will see the distributive powers. The Constitution provides division of powers between union and states. Part 13 of the Constitution contain provision governing the legislation and administration relation between the union and the state. Parliament has been given nation where state legislature has given the power to legislature for their respective states. So basically, if you'll see in the part 13 of the constitution, it is specifically mentioned that uh, or the power has divided between the union and state, means the environment, the state has the pure rights of their environment, the state has control or protect their near environment, and the union will decide or protect the whole country's uh, environment. They will not pollute their near environment, or they will stay free of any type of pollutions in their environment. Next one is the constitutional 42nd amendment. So in our 42nd means 42 amendment, there are also special mention about our environment. So here it also mentioned that how you can amend, protect, or how we can save our near environment from any kind of pollution. It was for the first time that the Constitution 42nd Amendment Act 1976 incorporated Article 48A into Constitution in the chapter on directive principles of state policy. The provision which deals with protection and improvement of environment reads: the state shall endeavour to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forest and wildlife in the country. Means the state has the sole right to protect, to save the environment and their wildlife. The state cannot harm any type of wildlife or in forests in their environment, and it will safeguard the whole environment, the forest, the trees, the wild animals. The amendment also inserted part 6 in the constitution enumerating the fundamental duties of the citizen. Article 51A means it is not the duty of the state, it is the duty of also a common human. They have to do something for their environment. They have to also safeguard their environments. So next is directive principle of state policy. Part 4 of the Indian Constitution lays down certain fundamental principle of state policy which the future government of country will have to take into account while framing the laws for the governance of the country. So the directive incorporated in part 4 of the constitution are not enforceable in the court of law, but the Indian judiciary has made use of this directive in number of cases. These have been read as complementary to the fundamental rights. So I hope you all have understood. So for today class, this is for the today class, and next class we will study the another part of this chapter. So for today, thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you. Thank you all of you. So the class is over now. So now I will left the group. Thank you, sir.